Hi there. Um, my name is Arya and this is my Fragments and Fragments UI microservice project. In this short video, I'll walk through the backend, the front end, and how everything is deployed using AWS. So basically what the project does is uh, it lets a logged in user create, read, update, delete, and convert fragments of data. A fragment can be text, JSON, or even images. The front end of connects the backend through API endpoints, secure ones, and Cognito handles authentications. Now, the backend overview is that it is a Node.js microservice running on AWS ECS behind a load balancer. Now, it stores metadata in DynamoDB and fragment data in S3. Everything is controlled through an environment variables, so the service can be switched between memory mode and AWS mode. Examples are this is AWS right over here. If your thing is working and there's no errors, it'll show over here. Um, as you can see. Um, Next is a walkthrough of the code. Basically, I'll be explaining the main parts, so they're in points right over here based on my script. Don't judge me. It's right over here in my phone. Um, Next, the code chooses whether the backend should run on AWS or MemoryDB, which is a file that I have created. This is useful because when AWS region is set, it automatically uses S3 and DynamoDB. Otherwise, it will use MemoryDB file for any sort of tests you would like to do without actually sending the code again, running it through AWS. And if you just want to do local tests. Next is the get fragment root. This piece of code, what it basically does is it retrieves a user's fragment by ID, loads its metadata, and from DynamoDB gets the content from S3 and returns it uh, with the correct MIME type. Next code explanation would be that to support AWS, I created a DynamoDB table called fragments and an S3 bucket, as I showed over here. This is my ECS and this is my DynamoDB. Just 1 second. Um, as you can see in tables, there is one that is active fragments. So what that basically does is it creates an S3 bucket also named fragments. The backend has full CRUD support and image conversions using the um, Git Docker, and GitHub Actions automatically builds the Docker image, pushes it to ECR, and deploys the service to ECS when I push a tag. You can see that by running Docker desktop right over here. Uh, just it'll take a few moments to load. Till then, I can basically show you what the basic UI would look like. This is the basic UI that I have created. Um, the HTML file basically working to connect all the things, and login basically connects Cognito. If that works, it goes to the next steps. Docker desktop, as you can see, is loading. Gonna take a bit. So um, till that runs, basically GitHub Actions are important. It builds the Docker image, pushes it to the ECR. Now, um, as you can see, it's loading the images. Based on my fragments pushed images, you can see some of them right over here. As you can see, some of them are right over here. They are pushed using the correct ports. Now, um, as I showed you ECS, it basically meant that my backend can save scale and I don't have to manage servers manually. Next thing is that I'll show you the code again. We will return to the code. The front end basically is pretty simple. As I showed you, it's a simple parcel-based web app. It allows users to log in using Cognito, create fragments, and view them, update them, and delete them. Next is the code for auth.js, which I had created right over here. Just give a second. Oh, sorry. So the MIME type and stuff. Um, yeah. So for this over here, um, just 1 second. Okay. Now, for this one here, auth.js, when the user clicks login, we redirect them to Cognito's hosted UI, and on success, Cognito sends back an access token, which are front-end users and API requests. Next is app.js actually sends the fragment request. It awaits for a fetch. This is how the UI creates a fragment. It sends a authorization token, the content type, and the body. So the full flow is uh, basically user logs in with Cognito, UI retrieves the token, token is set into API, backend validates using AWS JWKs, fragment is stored in DynamoDB and S3, and the result is sent back to the UI. That is all. Thank you so much.